Good evening, Crimson Tide Nation, and welcome to the 61st edition of Alabama Crimson Tide Live from yours truly, Jackson Johnson. Jeffrey and Only Talk Sports is not here, but he will be back Thursday night for the college show as he didn't get enough winks in his sleep. So I was like, you know what? Don't want you to get exhausted for tonight. So you get yourself some sleep, good buddy. And of course, we have a new addition to Alabama at the Voice College Football. And you will meet him in just a little bit. He's been featured on Touchdown Alabama. I'm going to give you that hint, that's for sure. And I'm going to tell you right now, you're going to love him and the magic that he creates. And of course, we will be joined by Lewis Johnson from Last Word on College Football and LSU at the Voice of College Football for LSU Live Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Central Time for an Alabama LSU preview for Saturday night on ABC. And that's going to be a wild ride. And before we get taking care of business every day, we've got the merch store for Alabama at the Voice College Football. We've got the hats, we've got the t-shirts, the polo shirt, the game day mug, the tumbler cup, and the can cooler. It's all right there. It's the perfect gift for your friends, your family, and those lovely cashiers at Publix. All right here. And if you got some merch ideas for Alabama at the Voice College Football, email voicecollegefootball@gmail.com where you can give out some wonderful ideas like a dog bowl for each of the teams for the Voice College Football or a Voice of College Football journal, which I can tell you right now, a Voice of College Football journal will keep all your secrets safe. That I can personally guarantee. And now, the moment you've been waiting for. He is a new edition of Alabama with the Voice of College Football. He is the one and only himself, Trevion Ware. How you doing tonight, good buddy?
I'm doing well, doing well. Happy to be here, man. Happy just to be a part of the Voice of College Football Alabama channel and ready to really spew my knowledge on you guys. Really.
Oh man, we are so excited to hear it. And for those who don't know about you and want to learn a little more about you, should I tell the audience a bit about yourself?
Well, first and foremost, my name is Travion Ware. I've been in the sports media business with Alabama football, covering Alabama football for about 2 seasons here now. Just started last year in the calendar board era in 2024 when calendar board first got here. I've worked extensively with Touchdown Alabama magazine as a reporter journalist, and I've had a lot of opportunities to speak with current members of the staff like a Kane Warmack, a Kalen DeBoer, a Ryan Grubb, and many of the former and current players. Former being like a Jalen Miro or a Malachi Moore, even some current players today like a Todd Simpson, like a Jam Miller, Ryan Williams, things of that. So I'm pretty much engulfed and versed with Alabama football, and just ready to really just be a great addition to this team here.
Oh man. Well, we are excited to have you and we welcome you at Alabama with the Voice College Football. We are looking forward to the magic you're going to bring all right here on this channel.
Yes,
But
sir, most definitely.
go ahead.
Yeah, yeah, I was saying yes, sir. I'm ready to get down to the nitty gritty. It's game week. We here. Bye week is passed, so only a couple days to game week. So we know you got a lot to discuss.
Oh man. But unfortunately, your first day of start with some bad news. Some really bad news. Dre Kirkpatrick Jr. suspended indefinitely. Oh
Oh man,
no.
oh man, that's a tough one for real.
Ugh.
Um, yeah, I said with the Drake Kirkpatrick suspension, that's really a tough one because he's obviously a legacy player. His dad had a lot of special moments in Tuscaloosa, and he's Drake Kirkpatrick Jr. He's had an up and down go of things this year. He's been ejected in a game this season, but he's also brought a lot of life on defense and stuff like that. But to hear of his suspension and the reasoning why, that's kind of disappointing. But It's nothing I don't think Alabama football can get past.
Well, and we've got this quote from Kayla DeBoer, and got this from Crimson Coverage for Brody Smoot. And DeBoer said, quote, "Unfortunately, with the information I have at this time, talk to Dre, and we need to indefinitely suspend him. He understands there's consequences that come with his actions." Oh man, it was just so. Oh man, I think Kirkpatrick will bounce back from this.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, because I mean it's I think a lot of it is age. So it's like, so there's that. But I just hate seeing that.
Yeah, I hate to see stuff like that too, but then again, I like to give the benefit of the doubt because me myself, I'm only 26 years old, and I know things happen and stuff like that. And then with him, with his father and stuff like that, Drake Patrick Sr., he comes from a good background. He comes from a good family, so I'm pretty sure that they've already really spoken to him and
Oh,
really just working on a way to move forward from this. This is actually interesting to see from the Kellen DeBoer perspective because this is the first player that I've seen be suspended, be arrested and be suspended under Kalen DeBoer at Alabama. To my knowledge, since I've been here, so it's kind of interesting to see how he'll handle it.
yeah, but but I think it's gonna be interesting to see what happens. And I'm just kind of going ahead and looking at the depth chart to see who'll be stepping in for Kirkpatrick. Maybe we could see a little bit of Ivan Taylor bring his magic. I mean, because we already got Ken Sab, so I'm thinking maybe we can see some Ivan magic on Saturday night.
Yeah, probably some Ivan Taylor Magic. He's another one of those legacy DBs. His dad played at Alabama too, and he definitely has the capability to step up if needed. That deep Alabama defensive secondary is real deep, and I really think that maybe Ivan Taylor or even a kid like a Red Morgan
Ooh.
or just some other DBs in that realm can really step up and really cover for his loss. The Kirkpatrick, he was also a player that also was doing some stepping in himself. So that really just got to see. Really just Kane Warmack will really have to probably dig deep in his toolbox to see what other pieces can fit in there. But I know we have the tools. So
For sure. I mean, because I think things will be all right because we've got the Nets man up mentality, and we've survived injuries throughout this season, and it's gonna be all right. That I do know.
yeah, most definitely it should be all right. It just really just depends on the severity of the suspension. Obviously when you hear the words indefinitely, that just triggers obviously more than a week to me, but really just depends on how the severity of what actually occurred and how Kalen DeBoer and company decide to go about things. Like I said, this is the first time I've seen a player under Kalen DeBoer at Alabama be arrested and indefinitely suspended. So really just depends on how he and staff go about things. I try to think back to a time when Nick Saban had somebody suspended. I might be like I said, I'm only 26, so I really got to think back. I'm trying to think of a player and see how he handled it. He handled it, but obviously at Alabama that's not tolerated. So I mean, I don't think it'll be a habit or anything like that. But really just depending on how Kellen DeBoer and staff go about this.
Well, and I kind of feel like we'll have more of an answer on what happens either by the end of the week, or at most, I would say the week before rivalry week against Auburn. I think we could probably have more of an answer on that by that time, but who knows? By the time this clip is fully out on Alabama Voice College Football, you will definitely have an answer. Oh, no worries. It's another fourth wall break on Alabama The Voice College Football.
Oh man.
Yeah. Since you're new around here, you'll be learning a lot about the fourth wall break. That's for sure. Oh man. But before we get to our next subject and we bring our guest, who do you go to for top-notch college football predictions? Exactly, Trevion.
That's a good question. I like to lean upon my own knowledge. To be honest with you, I call myself kind of like a ball knower, and a ball knower to me is really somebody that really studies the game, that really that's unbiased. You can't be biased when you're making these picks, when you're making these predictions, and really just lean and depend upon my own knowledge. So obviously I would say I lean upon myself for my picks and stuff like that. I think I got a pretty good track record. I mean, yeah.
There you go. Well, there's one guy you should definitely go to. If you ever feel like going to anybody on college football predictions for 2025 and much more, there's a guy you should definitely go to. Mark Rogers, the voice of college football. Or in this case, the doppelganger of Mark Rogers.
College football is even more exciting when you've got some action on the line, and the games are even better when you're cashing in. And the voice of college football is the place to be to get the greatest value. Start with my picks. 75% against the money line, 58% against the spread, and I've got a 40-plus year track record. 11-0 in the college football playoff for me last year against the money line, 8-3 against the spread. And I'm just the warm-up act. Steve Merrill of Wager Talk is our ace in the hole, show stopper. 7 years with the voice of college football, over 30 years in the industry. Steve gives us analysis on all the big games, but you can't miss Steve's weekly under-the-radar pick. 28-12 against the spread the last 3 years. You also get picks from some of our top analysts here at the Voice of College Football, including Corey Bratta, Matt Zemek, and Steve Dace. Check out those numbers. Become a YouTube or Patreon member for just $99 per month. Go to the main channel on YouTube, click join, and then select the betting tier. Do the same thing on Patreon. Make 2025 a winner now.
That's right, folks. That's why you go to Mark Rogers, Steve Dace, Matt Zemek, Corey Bratta, and company, and especially Steve Merrill for those under-the-radar picks to week. And if you listen to Steve Merrill, you'll realize they picked North Texas last week over Navy. And if you did, well, then you're gonna have a great start to your month of November, friends. Tell your friends, family, and the Cashier's Pubs about the magic that Voice College Football Bets brings you, especially for this Thanksgiving season and Christmas season. Alrighty, he is the host of LSU Live on LSU at the Voice of College Football and writer for Last Word on College Football as the LSU beat writer, the one and only himself, Lewis Johnson. How you doing today? Oh, you're muted, Lewis. Uh-oh. There you go. Oh, here we go.
All right, we all good.
Oh, we're good. We're good.
All
How
right,
you
what's
doing
up,
today,
fella?
good buddy? Long time no see.
I know, right? It feels like a lifetime ago, man. When we got together before the season and talked a little Bama, LSU, and man, who would have thought that we'd be where we are right now in the college football landscape? But thanks for having me on, Trevion. Thanks for having me on. Good to be on, man. Excited to talk about some actual football on the field.
Let's go. Here we go. The Alabama LSU preview. And of course, we're starting it off with a little bit of what led up to where things are at now. LSU not having an ideal start to their season, unfortunately. Sorry about that, Lewis.
Well, yeah, not ideal, but hey, if it gets LSU to the greater good, and then you got to deal with some tough times. But yeah, it's been obviously a disappointing season, and we've gotten to a point to where that disappointment has also kind of morphed into embarrassment. Like to get beat at home like that against A&M, absolutely embarrassing. And I won't go too far into the off the field stuff, but that's also not a great look for the university or the state. But now that we've gotten past all the rough part, it's kind of intriguing to see where this season is going to go from here, because you're still talking about a talented team, and you're still talking about a team who hasn't had any players to opt out, any recruits to decommit. So I think all eyes right now are looking at LSU as far as where they're going to go next, and with the AD and the coach. But on the field, it's still a lot to play for. You can finish on a high note.
Travion, we'll go to you next.
Yeah. Obviously, looking at LSU from the landscape of Alabama, obviously, I thought with them being ranked in the top echelon of the top 25 of the college football rankings this year, I thought they were going to be contenders for the college football playoffs, but like Lou said, there's obviously still a lot of talent on that team. You look at some of the players they got on both offense and defense and stuff like that. And then you see that even with the removal of Brian Kelly, the team is still bonding together. You haven't seen a lot of opt outs because a lot of players could have easily made decisions about their future, but about their future in season and just walked away from the final month of this season. But you aren't seeing that. You're seeing a lot of cohesiveness and togetherness. So when I look at LSU, I really just think it's just going to be a dangerous, gritty group coming in to Tuscaloosa, ready to see if they can shock the world and stuff like that. And that really could be a recipe for a recipe just for a headache for Alabama. So really, I don't think Alabama can take this form, and they're definitely gonna have to they're definitely gonna have to have their have everything they want together when they come to Tuscaloosa this weekend.
No doubt about it. And there's something that I saw on Crimson Coverage earlier today. And this has a lot to do with Alabama LSU, especially the last time Alabama was favored by double digits against LSU. This is what happened. 2022. LSU winning in overtime. And this year, Alabama is favored by 10.5. Oof. And Frank Wilson, oh man, he is making sure his guys are prepared. I got to tell you, that this is going to be a fun one. It's going to be a wild ride on Saturday night on ABC. And, I'm glad to see that it's going to be played in 2026 for sure. And in 2027, it's not going to be played, as we know. So next time we see this game is going to be in Tuscaloosa. We'll see it in 2028. That we do know. But to get this show really started, we got some position battles to look out for. And we will start with you, Lewis. What are the position battles to look out for from your eyes?
Okay, if you will allow, I do want to go back a little bit before 2022. You talked about that matchup and how it was surprising that LSU was able to come out with the win, being a double-digit underdog. But the year before, in 2021, when Coach O got fired, it was a very similar situation to where nobody thought LSU had a shot. You're dealing with a kind of like a lame duck DC and Durante Jones, who kind of just let all the tricks out the bag. He was very aggressive. No pressure was on LSU at that point. They went to Alabama and played them, lost in a one-score game in a team that ended up finishing under 500. But that just, to me, kind of is probably going to be pretty similar to the level of how competitive this game is going to be. We won't be looking at a blowout, I don't think. I think it's going to be a very competitive game. Um, on to the position battles. You got to start with offensive line. I mean, we're talking about LSU. It's been the same thing all year. We're talking about the offensive line. And even though I think LSU matches up better with Alabama up front than they did against A&M, because Alabama doesn't have the dominant sack artists that we're used to seeing at Alabama, you're still talking about a great defense. You're still talking about a top 25 defense overall at scoring defense. So LSU is going to be they're going to have a left tackle and true freshman Carius Kern, who is listed as questionable right now. So at best, you got a Carius Kern, true freshman that has some potential at left tackle. If he can't go, you have DJ Chester, who is a guard as far as his true position, who they might have to shift out to left tackle. And he's nothing against Chester, but he's not a tackle. He's definitely not a left tackle. So no matter what you're looking at on the other side of these guys, that's going to be a headache for LSU as far as working around that. Now, once you get on the other side of the ball, LSU's secondary has looked like a typical LSU secondary. You look at the corners and the safeties, and it's more of what we've grown accustomed to seeing from LSU. But there has been a soft spot in this defense in the passing game, and that's with the backs and tight ends. So I worry about a guy like Riley for Alabama, the young running back you got, catching the ball out of the backfield. Whit Weeks is still questionable for LSU. We don't know if he's going to go. So you're looking at guys like Devon Keys and West Weeks, who they've been okay, but let's be honest, they've been exposed in the passing game a little bit. So I worry about that matchup. It's going to be fun to watch the secondary against those great receivers in Bernard and Williams. But what I really worry about is your running back in the passing game.
No doubt. I mean, that is definitely something to look out for.
Yeah, matchup wise for me though, I look at size. I look at the size of a DJ Pickett. You know, the 6'5" rangy defensive back y'all got and the receivers at Alabama. Uh, he's made some noise out there in the secondary. He has a couple picks on the season, stuff like that. He's one thing that stands out to me. Circling back to what you said, Lou. Obviously, you think of Alabama, you think of Alabama and LSU, you think of battle of the trenches, the offensive line. Alabama has been rotating their offensive line throughout the entire season. The offensive coordinator Ryan Grubb has said on numerous times to the media that they don't have a set offensive line. It's just continued rotation and stuff like that. I think that Alabama's. I think that their offensive line up front and establishing a run game. That's going to be important, really. So it really just depends on Alabama's intent to run the ball. Can they establish a run game? Because obviously we got Todd Simpson and we got the pass game that can get going and really more efficient. That's really the strength of the offense. But really just establishing that run game to keep LSU honest and stuff like that. That's really going to be a key. Because if you don't keep the LSU defense honest, and they're going to be able to cheat in the pass game, and that could be a recipe for a headache, really. And another thing that I'm looking at uh, matchup wise, really is also just the monster they got on offense. I'm speaking of Trey Dez Green. I hope I'm saying his name right. 6'9", athletic tight end. I already can tell he's going to be a red zone. Those Husky backs, those nickel defensive backs that Alabama has in the secondary, they're going to have to really man up on coverage and really just shade him throughout the entire night. Him and Aaron Anderson, they're gonna have to really just lock in on those two, especially because I feel like those are gonna be the most weapons on offense. And obviously, you got the running back, Caden Durham. LSU hasn't gotten their running game going the way that they normally do in seasons past. Same could be said for Alabama, but This was their leading tailback last year. He's shown that he can be explosive. He's shown that he can uh get things going for LSU to make things easier on Nussmeier. So really just from a matchup standpoint, it's really just going to be who can impose their will in the trenches. Can Alabama establish a run game? Can they stop the opposing threat of a Caden Durham game and make a Nussmeier beat them with their arm? Because I feel like that's what Alabama is best at, and that's what plays to their strengths. Because you talk about LSU having a 6'5" corner in DJ Pickett. Well, Alabama got one too, and his name what's his name? Dejon Lee. Yeah, he's also a freshman defensive back. Got some size. I think he's like 6'4". He's a little bit smaller than Pickett, but he also has been on that island in Alabama secondary and been manning some stuff up. So really, just like I said, really just gonna depend on the trenches and stuff like that. Can Alabama impose their will on LSU? And if so, then it's gonna be positive. If not, it might be a headache. And giving the team like LSU, giving them that advantage, and then them having their backs against the wall the way that they do, I feel like that could definitely be a springboard for Alabama. Definitely those type of things.
Yeah, I mean, stopping the run game is important for Alabama because if you don't stop the run game, LSU will get you. And Alabama is definitely going to have to make sure that the run game is looking good on Saturday night. Because, I mean, we've had some moments where it almost cost us. And, that play against Bishop where Tennessee scored that second touchdown, start off that third quarter in the 2025 edition of the third Saturday in October, that had me a little nervous. Maybe not for the rest of the regular season, but come playoff time, that's got me a little nervous. Because if we were going up against a team with a really good run game, then we would be in trouble.
That's a great point you guys make. And to your point, Travion, about Durham, you also got another guy in Harlem Berry who hasn't done anything but produce when he's getting opportunities, but for whatever reason he hasn't gotten enough opportunities. This is a guy who averaged almost 7 yards a carry against A&M, but finished with only 9 carries. So that's unacceptable. It's one of the things that is kind of intriguing to me about this game. And with the new staff that well, not necessarily new, but it shrunk a little bit in the last week. So you got a slightly different staff, and to see the commitment to the run is going to be fun to watch. Also, you brought up Trey Green, and I think about a guy like Lee, who's much, like Pickett, he's much taller than your average corner. So I think Alabama might be a little creative in how they go about attacking Trey Green, because LSU uses him like a wide receiver, and even though he's a tight end, it's a lot to look for in this game. Now, as an LSU fan, for LSU fans, you're looking at a team that has nothing to lose. You're looking at a team that, I mean, you're playing for pride right now, and you can't forget about that interim bump. You see it time and time again. I talked about the LSU-Bama game in 2021. And you look at some teams that have already gotten rid of their coaches, like a UCLA this year. You tend to get that interim bump. And when you watch Frank Wilson talk, this is a guy, and look, nothing against Kelly. He's gone. I'm not going to kick him while he's down. But Frank Wilson is a guy that lives, breathes, loves LSU. Like he lives LSU. He's from the state. He can walk in any high school in the state at any time of day. He's well respected, and I think that you will get effort. One of the more concerning things about LSU this year was just being straight up. You saw him quit against A&M. You saw him quit. You get down, and you don't see the typical fight that you see from an LSU team. This is a proud program, and whether you're from the state or not, when you come to LSU, one thing is they've been known for is to play hard, to play with effort. You're not making it easy. So I don't think this team is gonna quit on Saturday.
No.
Yeah, and I'm of the belief they're not going to quit either. That's why I believe Alabama, they cannot take LSU lightly at all. I understand you're a 10-point favorite, but at the same time, and I also understand both teams coming off a bye week. That should be no excuse because like that's playing right into LSU's favor. You know, because Alabama, they all the pressure is obviously on LSU and stuff like that. So Alabama they're gonna have to come. They're gonna have to come out hot because I already everybody not everybody already knows, but I'm pretty LSU's goal is to play spoiler Saturday night. They want to spoil Alabama's chances to get to the college football playoffs. Even though if they were to lose against LSU, that wouldn't knock them out automatically, but that would obviously diminish their chances. So Alabama definitely they're gonna have to come ready to play because I can guarantee that LSU is going to come ready to play just with just the emotion and everything that they've gone through over the last week and a half. They ready to get on the field and play football. So that's definitely something Alabama's going to have to look out for.
No doubt about it. Sandra Geiger 8984 asked, trap game, do you agree? I say yes. But Travion, what do you think?
I'm not gonna call it a trap game because I'm pretty sure players on the roster, Kalen DeBoer, this is his second time facing the LSU. I'm pretty sure that they know everything that comes with this type of game and stuff like that. Are the is the pressure ramped up due to what's going on the LSU side? Yes, but I don't think it's a trap game. I think Kellen DeBoer will have his guys ready to play. I think that there's going to be guys that no needed extra or motivation added. I think that they're going to be ready. So I wouldn't say it's a trap game, but it's definitely it would for me. It really just depends on how Alabama starts the game. Like you see, going back previous, you see when they were on South Carolina. I feel like that was a trap game because that team they literally say LSU don't have much to lose. At least LSU they're going to be bowl eligible. South Carolina they're not even going to be bowl eligible. It's looking like so. And plus they were on the road, so it really just depends on how fast Alabama starts. Really, how fast they start. And when I say start, I mean particularly on offense. How fast can Todd Simpson get these guys rolling into the end zone and stuff like that, so you can even take the life out of LSU before they even start. You know, because like I said, going back to the South Carolina game, them not starting fast, that just gave South Carolina more and more life and stuff like that. But I think a fast start that'll kill any momentum LSU has. So getting that offense to start fast, that'll kill any incentive or vibe trap game for me.
There you go. But before we get to the players to watch for, I just got this report from Bama 247 on the details of the police report on Dre Kirkpatrick Jr. It's from Mike Rodak. And this what he said. In a court filing Monday, police wrote in a deposition that they observed a white Mercedes sedan traveling a high rate of speed and accelerating without regard to heavy vehicle pedestrian traffic after 2 a.m. Central Time on Saturday morning at the intersection of University Boulevard and Campus Drive. Officers on foot attempted to stop vehicle by having it pull into a ride share lane. I verbally told the driver, pull over, stop vehicle. Officer wrote, the vehicle began moving towards the side share lane, then pulled back towards the driving lane while 2 other officers were in front of the car, and I was pulling on the door handle. He continued to approach officers who placed their hands on the hood, hoping the driver would stop. The driver continued forward, and officers moved out of the path of the vehicle as it sped off. officers struck the vehicle and driver's side window in an attempt to get the driver stopped. The officer said he visually identified the driver as Alabama student DeAndre Javon Kirkpatrick, with whom I've had multiple interactions on the strip. Continued with the police report. Tuscaloosa Police Department and the UAPD officers attempted to follow the vehicle with notice. It says police said the incident was captured on surveillance and police body camera. So hearing this report, gentlemen, what is your take on it? And Travion, we will start with you, and then we will get to Lewis.
Well, hearing the details about Dre Kirkpatrick, like I said, I'm not really gonna dig too much deep into it. Like I know, and I say that because he's a young kid. He's a redshirt sophomore. Obviously, he comes from a decent upbringing and stuff like that. Played at the University of Alabama and stuff like that. So I really just think that it was just really just being young and making mistakes. I mean, I'm not gonna put too much into it. I just think that obviously he's got to conduct himself in a better manner. Obviously, he has to know that hey, you're Drake Kirkpatrick, you're defensive back at the University of Alabama. You everybody knows who your father is and stuff like that. So obviously, I just think that I just think that this could be used as a learning lesson. I don't think it's that serious and stuff like that. Obviously, shouldn't speed up and stuff like that, things of that nature. Being out late, anything after 10 o'clock, being out after 10 o'clock, you really just asking for trouble at that point. So with Drake Kirkpatrick, I don't think that it's anything serious or anything detrimental to his career, nothing like that. I just think that obviously that Kellen DeBoer is gonna have to handle this manner and handle this in a manner where it doesn't happen again. I mean, Alabama is pretty good at player discipline and stuff like that. They're not to throw a shot at Georgia or anything, but they're not like Georgia where this is a repeated incident with the police and with motor vehicles and stuff like that.
Oh man, Georgia, now they've got some issues right there. It's like, good grief.
Yeah, they got history. I think that Kalen DeBoer and staff, Kane Warmack especially, and his position coach, I think they're all going to handle this in a way that this can be a learning experience for Drake Kirkpatrick and for others on this Alabama team, and they can move forward. So I mean, me specifically, I'm not going to dig too much deep into it. I think that, like I said, it's a learning experience, and he'll get better from this. We'll see him again soon.
Oh yeah, I've got a feeling we'll see him on the Iron Bowl. Maybe next week against Oklahoma. That'll be awesome. Lewis, what do you think?
Well, it's unfortunate. You hate to see it, but you hope he grows from it on the field. Alabama's going to be fine. I mean, you still got Jackson, you still got Lee, you still got other guys. So I'm not sure how much it's going to affect the game. But on a personal level, of course, you hope that the young guy grows from that experience. But it kind of brings me to another point so when I saw this headline, I was pretty surprised. And there was a day not too far back there where something like that wouldn't surprise me at all. So I think it says a lot about one of the positives from the NIL era that I don't think people talk about a lot. Kids are staying out of trouble. Like, it's not often, unless you're Georgia, it's not often that you see stories like this. And I think with guys having more on the line, I think guys are staying in line, and you're seeing a lot less off the field events than we used to see. As a guy that follows LSU, first game of the year, I could pretty much count on 3-4 guys being suspended every year. That was routine. That was, I hate to say it, it's damn near tradition. But I think that's changed a lot due to NIL. So that's one of the positives that I don't think really people talk about a lot.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I've never really understood people not talking about that positive of the NIL, where it's like all we hear is the negative, but we don't hear the positives, especially with that statement you just made, Lewis.
Yeah, I think a lot of people don't notice. You notice negative stuff way more than you notice positive stuff. So people staying out of trouble and doing the right thing is not going to kind of catch your attention whereas a bar fight or a DWI or something, some kind of criminal activity that's gonna like grab headlines. But it's just one of those things, man, that you want to stay cognizant of and remember that they're kids. And I'm gonna tell y'all for sure, I'm glad that I was not a well-known person, didn't have a lot of cameras around me at 20 years old or however old he is, because who knows how bad I could have made myself look.
Oh man, it's like good grief. It's like the stupid stuff that people do in their 20s, like can really come back to bite you in like age 50 or 60. It's you want to make sure you're doing the right thing, not just in front of everybody, but off camera as well. Because like if you don't, karma gets everybody.
Yep, somebody always watching for sure. That's something my mom always tell me. Somebody always watching. So yeah.
Agreed. But back to Alabama LSU, as we've got some players to watch out for from the LSU side of things, and of course our guys as well. And we'll start with our guest, Lewis, on this very magnificent topic.
All right, man. So one of the things I like about this matchup from LSU's perspective is you're not dealing with the same level of running threat at quarterback that's given LSU so much trouble. Now, don't get me wrong. I know Ty Simpson is not a statue. He's an athletic guy. He can move. He can buy himself some time, but he's not Marcel Reed. So you look at a guy who's a little bit more stationary than what they've been playing against. And I think a key player for LSU is going to be Bernard Gooden. The worst place to get pressure for a quarterback is from the middle. And at defensive tackle, Bernard Gooden has been very disruptive. He doesn't have a lot of sacks to show for it, but he has absolutely wrecked plays and forced plays outside or ended plays before they can get started. So Bernard Gooden on the inside of that defense is going to be critical for LSU to have some success against the Alabama offense and all the explosiveness that it brings. Other than Gooden, I talked about the cornerbacks and you got a very high level of competition on the perimeter with Alabama's receivers. You're talking about a lot of NFL guys going against each other on the perimeter. Back to LSU, I brought him up one time, but I just think that this guy's a difference maker, and I got to say, Harlan Berry, get this guy in that 16 to 17 carry range. If it's one scored, a 10-point game, even 14-point game, LSU, however the game plays out, LSU cannot afford to abandon the run. When you do that, even if you don't do that, look, Nussmeier's probably going to give you a pick at some point. It's who he is at this point. But if you put everything on him, then you're pretty much guaranteeing it. So I would like to see 16 to 17 carries from Berry. Overall, as a rushing offense, upper 20s in that 28 to 29 range. Take some pressure off of Nussmeier, but Berry is a game breaker. And I'm not going to take away from Caden Durham because Caden Durham put the team on his back as a true freshman last year. You don't win at South Carolina without him. But Berry's just got a different kind of juice to him, and he's going to be big in this game.
Yeah, from the Alabama side of things, offensively, a player that I think that it starts and stops for Alabama is obviously is Jeremy Bernard. He's been the straw that's been stirring this Alabama offense since week one, even in Florida State. When they lost to Florida State in Tallahassee, he still was able to accumulate over 100 yards receiving and rushing. So I think that really getting Jeremy Bernard in space to, create and open things up for Ryan Williams, for Isaiah Horton and stuff like that. That's going to be real important because Jeremy Bernard, you can put him in the backfield as a running back. You can flex him out wide and let him play receiver. And he, like I said, he's really been the stir that's been stirring the drink for Alabama's offense this year. And obviously, I just named the two receivers got Ryan Williams and Isaiah Horton. Really and really more so Isaiah Horton, a 6'4" dude that can be a weapon in the red zone, getting him going more so because last week versus not last week, the last game they played versus South Carolina, he didn't I think he was injured or something.
Mhm.
Yeah, he
Yeah, I saw like a baby when Lottie Brooks was not able to play against South Carolina.
mm, yeah, and that's another dude that I was gonna allude to next. Just with getting Ryan Williams and Isaiah Horton going, a dude like Elijah Brooks definitely benefits off of that just with his speed and athleticism and different ways to use him. So really, I just think that's going to be important. Obviously, getting the run game going for Alabama with the Kevin Riley, with the Jam Miller is also important. But also a way to get their run game going, I believe that they're going to have to, just get get a dude like a Kevin Riley or a Jam Miller out of space. Whether that be via the screen game, something like that. Really, just to get the ball in the best playmakers' hands and really get those blockers out in front and stuff like that. So offensively, like I said, I think it starts and stops with Jeremy Bernard and that snowballs into Ryan Williams and Isaiah Horton. And defensively, I really think that a dude like Yonze Pierre, a defensive lineman that's been coming on strong for Alabama over the last really four or five games now with the loss of Clay Russo and stuff like that. Really just really just generating consistent pressure on Garrett Nussmeier. That's going to be important because, like Lou said, consistent pressure that's going to lead to turnovers. I compare Nussmeier to like a Carson Beck kind of. They kind of do the same thing when they're pressured over time. They kind of if you throw the kitchen sink at them and you continue to pressure them, they're gonna give it up. Generating that consistent pressure and really just winning the time of possession. Getting LSU off the field on third down and stuff like that. So and who with that and I'm trying to think of another player that also that would help with that help with Yonze Pierre. Trying to think just players like Deontay Lawson and stuff like that, really just manning up that middle and stuff like that, not letting a K Durham or any of the other LSU running backs get to that second level and generate a run game. So really, I think Alabama they're gonna have to force it on the arm of Nussmeier and see if he can beat him. I really think I don't think that he can beat him if you put it all on his plate. But that's really what I would do. Me, that's really what I think they should do from a defensive standpoint. And yeah, but it all just comes down to their ability to start fast and get off the field. You know.
Um, oh man, there's another guy I get excited thinking about is Justin Jefferson. Because
Yeah.
he's helping us move up as he was finally getting a piece of that pie, especially against Missouri, making clutch plays, making clutch stops a few weeks back. I mean, people talk about that Dijon Lee interception where he's getting some of that mustard from Prbula, but Jefferson, when he made that clutch stop, stopping Missouri short at the first down on third down in the fourth quarter, that was huge. And I get excited thinking about Justin Jefferson and Bray Hubbard. Now, that guy's been a baller this season. Bray Hubbard, man, like there's just so many words on Hubbard that I'm just amazed by his talent. Like all those guys that we've got, like Pierre, Jefferson, Lawson. I do think James Smith kind of needs to chill for a little bit. He's got to
Yeah.
stay away from getting penalized. Like I'm like, oh no, no, don't do that, Smith. The refs are seeing that, my guy.
Yeah, Smith. Yeah, Smith kind of one of those throwback players. You can just tell just with his demeanor and his attitude, and you see some of the clips of him after the game, stuff like that. getting into it with the opposing team and stuff like that. I feel like every team needs that. So that's I wouldn't really read too much into that. He's just probably just he's one of those mean guys on defense and stuff like that. So definitely will play in Alabama's favor. But
I don't want to go against James Smith. He'll make a mean face at me. I'll tell you what. I am not going against guys that make a mean face. They'll chew me up like a chicken nugget. Oh man. Were there any other players that we left out from either team? I'm wondering. Ooh, because there are so many hidden gems that the people have not seen yet.
Oh yeah, and then obviously Todd Simpson, hottest quarterback in college football almost. Really just for Todd Simpson is really just getting that offense back going because you saw versus South Carolina, like I said, they had a lot of stall drives and stuff like that. Their longest drive versus South Carolina was under 15 plays, and it took them to the last 2 minutes of the game to really get things, going to put South Carolina away. So it really just depends on Todd Simpson how quickly can he really just dissect things and really make the routine plays that he's made, because South Carolina was able to take a lot of his ability and stuff like that away, take a lot of his first reads away and stuff like that, and that stalled the Alabama offense and made it frustrating and stuff. So really just depends on Todd. Really just depends on Todd Simpson. That's the number one. I said Jeremy Bernard, but I think those two go hand in hand. So yeah.
Oh yeah, Josh Cuevas is another guy to look for as well because he's that X factor.
That tight end over the middle, that Vanderbilt killed LSU with the tight end over the middle. Simpson, man. Go ahead.
Yeah, I said then Cuevas, he's just proven to be more and more of a reliable red zone target over the last 8 games. He's just proven just to be a reliable target. Even versus Florida State, he proved to be a reliable target. So that's definitely something that can work in Alabama's favor. But
I was about to talk on Simpson. No, Simpson has been easily one of the most impressive quarterbacks in the country. And nobody would have seen that coming after the first game, but that just goes to show, can't read too much, which that game isn't really completely on him anyway, but there's not a lot that he's lacking. He can make the throws. He knows where to go with the ball. I think it's going to be very important for LSU to make him earn it. You talk about the weapons that Alabama has. So a guy like Bernard, who's so dangerous in space, you talk about Pickett and his coverage ability, and it's been impressive, but you're talking about a true freshman who's going to have to make some tackles in space, and that's not a given. So a missed tackle out in space against a guy like Bernard or Williams can change the game in an instant. So I think that's something that we also can't sleep on. LSU making Alabama earn everything they get. No cheap big plays because you got a guy who can hurt you anyway in Simpson. So you can't afford to give up a short pass and let a guy turn it into a big play. And speaking of turning those short passes into big plays, LSU is finally going to have Aaron Anderson healthy again. And I'm sure you guys are familiar with him coming from Alabama, from Louisiana, then transferring to LSU. He's been LSU's most consistent guy out wide for 2 years now, having more trouble staying healthy this year. But he's a stick of dynamite. Dude is dangerous with the ball in his hands, and I'm sure Nussmeier is going to be glad to have him back. But that'll give Nussmeier another option, especially coming out of the slot, to go along with Trey Green.
I am ready to see the matchups to watch for with those guys, and especially every one of those key guys for Alabama LSU at 6:30 Central Time on ABC. That's going to be extremely fun. Well, we now segue to the keys to victory for Alabama LSU on the 61st edition of Crimson Tide Live, all right here on Alabama, the voice of college football. For me, on a key to victory is making sure the run game is looking good. Make sure you stop the run game. We've not been able to be very consistent on either side of the ball with the run game this season, but if we can get a little more consistent with that on Saturday, that can help us. We'll be good to go. And your Nets, Travion.
Yeah, key to victory for me is simple: winning the time of possession. Because Alabama, that's been something that they're what are they on now? 7 game win streak. That's something that they've been specializing in these over these last 6 to 7 weeks, winning the time of possession, being great on third down. Todd Simpson has just been a magician on third down, extending plays, whether it be looking down the field and still being able to identify the open man, or just also just continuing just to pick things up with his feet and stuff like that. So I really just think that Alabama, they're gonna have to regain some of that magic they had on third down earlier in the season. Because we saw versus South Carolina with them, they lost in every single category versus South Carolina before the bye, and that was kind of telling. Yes, they won the ball game, but still the same. They didn't specialize. They didn't specialize in some of the stuff that propelled them to where they are now. So I really just think that Alabama to the basics. Back to the basics, like I said, just operating on third down, keeping drives alive, and winning the time of possession battle. Because you want to keep a hungry LSU team off the field as possible. Because I feel like the more and more LSU is able to extend drives on offense, it's going to give them more and more belief that they can come into Tuscaloosa and slay the giant. And you don't want to give a team like that more and more belief. Like you gave South Carolina more and more belief, but South Carolina didn't have the talent, to that like. And that's no knock against South Carolina. South Carolina is talented, but LSU is obviously more talented. So you give a more talented team with with more weapons and stuff like that. More chances, it's gonna come back to bite you in a negative way. So I think Alabama, you know, win the time possession and extending downs, and that's gonna help them score more points. So that's definitely the key of mine: the time of possession battle and not turning over the football. Those two things.
Agree. Time of possession is always going to be a key, especially for Alabama LSU in this 2025 edition. Lewis, you're next, our friend.
All right, guys, I got 3 keys for LSU in this game. First, I might sound like a broken record, but the commitment to the run game. I need to see that rushing numbers approaching 30, 27, 28 rushes. Don't stray away from it. Defensively, nothing easy. No blown coverages. No running back running out in the flat, but nobody following them. Like that kind of stuff is going to get you beat. And as much as I admire Blake Baker and I appreciate the job he's done, that's something that we've seen a little bit too much this year from this defense. Considering you have guys who can cover, so you just straight up missing assignments. Now, I said Baker, but the players got to take some accountability with that too. Most importantly is winning the turnover battle. I talked about Nuss and his tendency to throw picks. LSU will not go into Bryant Denny on Saturday night and win if they lose the turnover battle. It's just not going to happen. I think LSU matches up much better against Alabama than they did against A&M. But that doesn't matter if you go to Tuscaloosa and help them out. Bama is good enough already. You don't need to help them out. So it's imperative that LSU, if they don't win, at least they don't lose. Like don't turn it over. But you can't go over there and lose the turnover battle and expect to win. No. I think you're going to see a spirited team. I think you're going to see a galvanized team. But yeah, that's what's key to me. Running the ball, sticking with it, making them earn everything on defense, and winning the turnover battle.
Agreed. No doubt about it. Oh, man. It's going to be wild, but the run game is basically key for everybody, time of possession, and don't be turning that ball over because if you do, it's going to get very ugly real fast. And to conclude this show, we've got these score predictions that we're going to have. And since you're our guest, Lewis, we will start with you.
Oh man, you're gonna put all the pressure on me to go first. Okay. So look, it's no surprise to everybody or anybody who's been watching. LSU has not put up like a ton of points this year. I'm thinking we get a relatively low scoring game. LSU comes out and makes some plays. I think with the commitment to the run game, you end up hitting a big play to Barry and Brown. You take the momentum at different points. That penchant for turning it over is going to cost them late in the game. I got Alabama 27-24.
Oh, wow. That is a tight one. Holy Toledo. Oof. Travion?
Yeah, for me, I see the point spread is about what is it about? What is it? 10 or 13? What was it? 13.
It was 10.5.
Yeah, 10.5. I'm not gonna be oblivious and say Alabama gonna blow them out because it's Alabama LSU. These programs know each other very well. Players, regardless of Brian Kelly not being there, the players have still played against some of these players on Alabama's roster now, and LSU is still a very talented ball club, regardless of Brian Kelly being there or not. So I think that LSU at first they're gonna keep it close, just with all the adrenaline they have built, them wanting to play for Coach Brown and stuff like that, and really just wanting to be on upset alert. So I really think that LSU they're gonna they might even come out and score first. Who knows? But I think that Alabama should offensively they have more offensively to keep them at arm's length and keep the game in their favor. So I think that obviously I'll say Alabama's going to win. I believe they're going to win. Score wise, I would probably lean more towards a 24-31 type of game in favor of Alabama. Yeah, that's probably gonna be my prediction. 31-24 Alabama. Yeah.
All righty. Well, I've got my score prediction, and ever since I saw that from Crimson coverage, I'm like, oh Lord. So I'm thinking to myself, and Lewis, you mentioned 2021, and this post from Crimson coverage mentioned 2022. Every time Alabama's a double-digit favorite against LSU, I'm thinking, jeez. So, oh man, but this
doesn't tend to work out that way.
Oh no. But I think Alabama is going to win 28-20 in this matchup on Saturday night in Tuscaloosa with Sean McDonough and Greg McElroy on the call. All righty, Lewis, what have you got cooking on LSU at the Voice of College Football this week and on Last Word of College Football?
Oh man, it's so much to cover. I don't even know where to start. But of course, updates on the coaching search, AD search. LSU should have a president pretty soon here. For those who don't know, LSU also needs a school president, which is kind of one reason
that's why their governor's deciding everything.
Exactly. That's one reason that the governor has been so involved in a college football coaching search. But yeah, I'll be updating you guys on that. Also, give them a good old fashioned preview, man. It's so nice to get a chance to talk about some football. Like it was already bad enough to see so much chaos going on in Baton Rouge, but you got all that going on the bye week. So it's nothing to talk about but off the field issues. And it seems like it was more negative headlines every day. But now you got a game coming up. You got something to focus on, and I'm sure the team is looking forward to that much more than I am. So yeah, we'll talk some Bama LSU. We'll talk some off the field coaching search, and hopefully I'll have you on Wednesday night so we can get some Bama perspective on that show. And that's what I got going, man.
I'm looking forward to it, good buddy. I am looking forward to it. Oh man. And Travion, what magic are you cooking this week?
Really just Alabama. Really just trying to see go more into this matchup. Really just see from a depth standpoint, injuries and stuff like that. They have linebacker Quay Russaw talking about coming back potentially very soon here. Really just looking around at some of the opposition and also tomorrow with the college football first college football playoff ranking, the committee trying to see where they put Alabama, trying to see what needs to happen so they can officially make this college football playoffs. Because last year they didn't make it. I mean, obviously they got to win out and handle their business, but just things of that nature, really.
Oh man, you, me, and a friend are going to be reacting to that in real time on Alabama Primetime Live tomorrow night. The rankings. I'm so looking forward to the CFP rankings. Let's go. Oh man,
Must be nice.
Hey, the best part about being down is the way to go is up. That is my motto for everybody.
That's a good point.
There you go. I know things suck right now at LSU, but think about it like this. Here's to not being like Auburn.
That's a great point, Jason. We could always be Auburn, but
at least your coaches aren't leaving for politics. So it's like you're good to go there. Oh man. And of course I've got some magic cooking on Jackson Johnson 979 where I host my show, The Jacksonian, and where I could be joined by some hosts from Locked On Blue Jays discussing the recap of the 2025 season and what could have been in the World Series and much, much more. And there's Pitt's analysis and final whistle with Sports Talk with Austin. And for more updates, what I've got going on, the Jacksonian, Alabama with the voice of college football. Once we calls on the Paul Feinbaum Show, where the weekends are full of surprises, and on Jackson's World College Football and Locked On West Virginia with Mountaineer Paul. Check me out on Jackson VOCFB on @/Twitter and on Instagram and threads. Jackson Johnson 543908. I really need to change my Instagram threads handle, but also check out Jeffrey Only Talk Sports, where he talks sports every single day, or at least tries to, on Only Talk Sports on YouTube and on @/Twitter. No worries, you'll be seeing him Thursday night for the Alabama call-in show as we take your calls Thursday nights, 9 p.m. Central Time, 10 p.m. Eastern Time. And with that being said, we wish you all a happy, happy Monday night. And to stay safe, stay warm, it's cold out. And to like, comment, subscribe, click on the notification bell so you never miss no video whatsoever. And we will see you soon, especially tomorrow night for Alabama Primetime Live. And roll Tide!